Well, let's talk about it now as we're wondering where in the world is Tulsi Gabbard and what happened to the Tulsi we know. Yes, we certainly loved her early records. Well, now it seems to be changing as the White House has set the record straight, finally, for Tulsi Gabbard's presence in the Situation Room as President Trump ordered strikes on Iran. Well, new photos released, as you see right there, by the White House response team on Sunday show that Gabbard was one of the many officials who sat in the Situation Room as the United States struck three nuclear sites just Saturday night, if you recall. Yeah, she's not building, and she even signed it, the intelligence community. Now, this is what's interesting because she gave testimony just days ago. Once again, we received intelligence. I think there's a hidden hand here, and I think we need to know about it as Americans because we don't just have a fox guarding the hen house. No, we have psychotic killers, and Tulsi Gabbard knows it. And if she doesn't know it, she's going to find out soon because here it is. Okay, well, something happened there. Jim, while I try to find out who's guarding the damn hen house, you want to speak on Tulsi because I feel like I want to go missing right now, but I want to show you what we have. Jim, go ahead.
Well, it was just like in relation to Iraq. CIA was reporting there were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. So Dick Cheney created his own Team B to tell him what he wanted to hear. Yeah. Saddam had weapons of mass destruction. There weren't any weapons of mass destruction, but that's what Cheney wanted to hear to bomb Iraq. What's happened here now, Tulsi's reported the consensus of the intelligence community, including CIA, that Iran is not developing weapons of mass destruction. Where do you think that new info came from? Mossad.
Is that really true? You really believe Mossad is involved in our intelligence agencies, Jim?
Yes, right. I'll just tell you, Dean.
Jim, I've heard a lot of loony things. I've heard a lot of loony things in my life, but that's got to take the cake. But here's a report, and we'll see if Jim is wrong or if he's right. I don't want to give it away, but check this out as we put this together in the newsroom. Is Mossad running things? I don't think so, Jim. That can't be true.
What is your take on this kerfuffle between Trump and Tulsi Gabbard? I mean, she testified under oath that it was the consensus of the intelligence community, not her personal opinion, the consensus of the intelligence community, which, as you know, is many, many different agencies, that Iran does not have and is not working on the preparation for a nuclear weapon. Trump comes along and says, I don't believe her. The intimation is he has his own sources. What are those sources? Is it Netanyahu? Yeah. Is it this company Palantir that is feeding Netanyahu and Trump what they think he wants to hear and being paid hundreds of millions by the feds?
She's been steamrolled by Mossad, and Trump has been bamboozled by Mossad. This is an Israeli intelligence operation that, my judgment, includes something, Palantir as well, that they're an active participant in this charade. The thing people need to understand about the judgment of the U.S. intelligence community, as you correctly noted, it wasn't just Tulsi Gabbard giving her own opinion. This reflected, as we discussed on Friday with Ray, 5 different agencies that are what I call original collectors. These are, while they say they're 18 intelligence agencies, only about 5 actually collect raw intelligence and then process it and present it to the rest of the intelligence community. CIA, DIA, State INR, Intelligence and Research, NSA, and the National Geographic Geospatial Intelligence Agency. And when they all come together, I've been involved with those processes where you got to get interagency agreement on a judgment. And believe me, it's not always easy. They're not always singing for the same sheet of music. What we have here is an agreement within the intelligence community that dates back almost 20 years, in which they've been looking for evidence that actually Iran is building a nuclear weapon. And so inter-Israel, they claim, we got these great sources. And, Trump and his team go, look at what Israel just did. And, they almost decapitated the Iranian military. And it doesn't necessarily mean that Israel actually has sources that have penetrated into the Iranian nuclear program. But that Iran, in fact, has not been working on a nuke, because if they had, they would have been very upfront about it in order to, we got a nuke, don't touch us or we'll use it.
And it's unquestionable that the Epstein business was heavily influenced, let me put it that way, by Mossad. Yes, I watched Mossad take over the Pentagon in 2002. The Pentagon was infiltrated by Mossad. They did not need any identification to get through the river entrance of the building. They went upstairs to Douglas Feith, the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, the 3rd most powerful man in the Defense Department. Occasionally, they went to the 2nd most powerful man, Paul Wolfowitz, the Deputy Secretary of Defense, and they had run of the Pentagon. Donald Rumsfeld, the Secretary of Defense, said to my boss one time, hell, I don't run my building. Mossad does.
Jim, I owe you an apology. You were absolutely correct. I did not see that coming by a long shot, Jim Fetzer. I truly am sorry. You were absolutely right.
Well, it's common knowledge in Washington, D.C., Dean. Nobody is surprised by any of this.
Jim, if it's not in Reader's Digest, I don't know what it is. So I just want to say you were absolutely correct on that. Okay.